And I guess we're live, right? Hello, everyone. Hi. Hello. It's so nice to see you again. It's so nice to be back. Okay. So, how are you? It's kind of a gloomy Friday morning, okay? But I'm sure that this will all pass. This will all be finished. Okay, great. So, how are you? I hope you're doing great, everyone. I really hope you're doing great. Okay, so I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Matthew, okay, and I'm an English teacher at Myes here at Fabio Pilzi, okay, and this morning you are going to be with me. Right, okay. Hello, everyone, all right, so as much as possible, I want us to interact together, okay? So I want to know your comments and your ideas, your answers by using the chat box, okay? So type your messages, type your answers, and then use the live chat box or the comment section, all right, to send your ideas or comments, okay? So I have one student now who wrote something. So, hello, Michaela. Yay! I got it right this time. It's Michaela, not Giuseppe. Hello, Michaela. Hi. Nice to hear from you again. Okay, great. So, everyone, are we ready? We're good? All right, let's go. Now, here we go. So, just a quick note, everyone. This focus is for levels 4 to 5. Okay? Great. Now, let's have a look at this one. I want us to read this together. Okay? Let's read it together so you can practice your pronunciation. Okay? Right. Fantastic. All right, let's have a look at this. Read with me. Focus activity 4 to 5. Arranging to go out. Okay? So, I will ask you rather later about the words arranging to go out. Okay? Now, let's read this together. Okay? Arranging to go out. In this focus activity, first, deciding what to do. Second, deciding where and when to meet. Third, discussing your availability. And last one, suggesting alternatives. Okay? Great. Now, in this focus, we will talk about the language that we use when we want to go out or to meet some friends. Okay? So we can also use the expression to go out with friends. Okay? So when you say you want to go out with your friends, it means that you want to be with them. Maybe you want to have an aperitif with them. You want to drink with them, to eat dinner with them. Okay? This expression is in general to go out with friends. All right? Fantastic, everyone. Right. So remember, okay, if you have any questions or if you want me to clarify something, please type them in the chat box or in the comment section and I will help you with it. Okay? Now, let's have a look at this. Okay, so let's read this together. Okay? So, where do you go? With who? When? Where? How often? Why? Okay? Right. So, everyone, we have a list of questions here, and I want us to create our own sentences using these question words. Okay? But before we answer or we create our own examples, I will first discuss two grammar points with you. The first is the question words, and the second, the adverbs of frequency. Okay? So I will go back to this lesson. But first, now you can see my face. Right. Ta-da! The magical notepad. Okay? So everyone, I will talk about adverbs of frequency and the question words with you. We will review it first together, and then I will ask you to create examples. Okay? Great. So I will use this notepad to type my grammar points. All right? So first, let's discuss about the question words. Let's review the question words. Okay? In general, everyone, in general, you need to remember this shortcut. I will give you a shortcut, okay? We have what we call 6 W's, 1 H, okay? Are you familiar with this? 6 W's, 1 H. Now, these are the question words, okay? And now we will talk about them, okay? So, what do you mean by the question words? So, the first question word, we have who, okay? So, when do we use who? We use it for people, okay? So, for example, who is your friend? In this case, who is your friend? You are asking for the name of that person. So, who, we use it for people. Okay? All right? Next, we have when. When do we use when? Do you know? If you know when do we use when, just type it in the chat box. Okay? When do you think we use when? Hmm. So we use it for the time, for the date. Okay? Example, when is your birthday? This one. When is your birthday? Okay? Great. Fantastic, everyone. We use it for the time. Okay? Very good. Good job. All right? So we use it for the time and date. All right? So, for example, when is your birthday? Your answer for this is, of course, the date. If you know the time of your birthday, wow, that's amazing. All right, good job, everyone. Very good, fantastic. Next, we have where. Do you know when we use where? When do we use where? Type your answers, and I will wait for you. Okay? So we use where, for example, where do you live? Okay? So let's see. We have a list of answer. So Gio said place. Michaela said place. Oops, the letters. Spelling. And Katamine also said place. Fantastic, everyone. That's correct. So where we use it for place. For example, where do you live? Okay. Next, we have hmm, what the most common one. Okay. The majority of our questions are from what. Okay. But when do we use what? Do you know when? Can you type your answers? When do we use what? And I will wait for you. So, let me give you an example. What is your name? What is your name? So, in that example, you already have an idea. When do we use what? Can you try? So, we have two ways to use what. Okay, we use it first for things or for information. Okay, so when you ask for information and when you ask for things, you use what. So Carmine also said things. Very good, Carmine. Fantastic. But the question mark, it's okay. You're correct. Don't worry. Alessia said for things. Very good. Magda said for information. That's also correct. Very good. And of course, Michaela said we use it for things. So fantastic, everyone. Very good. That's correct. Okay. So example again. What is your name? Right. Next, we have why. All right. So everyone, why? When do we use why? Can you guess? Can you type your answer? When do we use why? So let me give you an example. Why do you study English? Why do you study English? Okay? So we have some answers here. So Magda said we use it for questions. Can be. Can be. Very good. Michaela also agreed that we use it for questions. Okay. Also with Carmine, we use it for questions, which is okay. Okay, it can be, but Claudia wrote a different answer. And this is actually correct. Everyone, why we use it for reason. Okay? And Alessia also agreed with this. So, why we use it for reason. Okay, for example, why do you study English? Okay, so in this case, usually the answer to this question starts with because, or even if it does not start with because is there in the sentence. So, for example, why do you study English? I study English because, and then your reason. Okay? Right. So let me tell you something first, everyone. These five, okay, these five W's are the common ones. They are the general. We usually use these five W's. Okay? However, I wrote six. What is the sixth one? Do you know? We still have one. And this is which. Okay? So when do we use which? When do you think we use which? So type your answers in the chat box, okay? And I will wait for them. So Carmina said which, very good. Just be careful with the spelling, Carmine. It has letter H. Okay? So, very good. All right. So, when do we use which? So, I have several answers. It is for choose and choose. And we also have, this has a letter H, Geo, it's choice. Okay. So, not really choose. Not really choose, but choice. That's correct. Okay, that's correct, everyone. It's for choice. Okay, so everyone, if you have an option, if you have an option between two things, if you have two choices, you use which. For example, which do you prefer, coffee or a tea? Okay, so in this case, we have two choices. We have coffee or tea. So in this case, we will use which. All right? Fantastic, everyone. Very good. Now, how about the letter H? So we have six W's and one H. What is that one H? Hmm, can you guess? Can you type the answer? And I will read it. So this letter H, we it's a we have some uses for this one, and it's very, very important. Okay, so we have the answer now coming from Gio. So Gio said the letter H is how. Fantastic, very good, Gio. So the letter H is how. When do we use how? When do we use how? So how we use it for a lot of things. So we use it for manner or approach. We also use it for frequency even or cost. Okay. So in this case, I will give you the list of questions with which we can use how. All right. But first, let me give you an example. Hmm? For example, how do you, let's just use go. I think it's better for now. So, first, how do you go to work? Okay, so in this case, we are asking for the approach, for the manner. Alessia also added description. This is good. You can also use it for description. Very good. Like this example, Alessia. How do you go to work? So you are describing how you go to work. So, for example, I go to work by using the metro, underground, subway, bus, tram. Okay? So in this case, how you use it for manner, approach, frequency, cost, and description. Okay? So, what are the words or expressions that we can use how with? So, let me give you that. We have how often for the frequency, how much for the cost, and how many for the quantity. Okay? For example, how many chairs do you have? I hope you have a lot of chairs. Okay? But remember, remember how much and how many, it depends on the word if it's countable or uncountable. Okay? Later, if we have time, I will talk about countable and uncountable. But for now, remember that be careful when do you use how much and how many, because it depends whether the word is countable or uncountable. Okay? Great. Now, everyone, do you have any questions about 6 W's and 1 H? Any questions, doubts? Are you confused? Or is it okay? Let me know in the chat box. All right? But for now, let me give you an additional some additional information, okay? With the use of with. So let me tell you this one. So number one, we have who do you go with, or who with. Everyone, we always use with who if you want to ask if there are two people together. So we use this, for example, if there if there's a person or if there are people with you, you will ask the question with. But everyone, the with should be at the end of the question, and if you want to answer, it's in the middle of the sentence. Okay? Remember, if you want to ask a question with for the question, it's at the end. For the answer, it's in the middle. For example, who do you go with? With at the end because it's a question. And the answer, I go with my family. Okay? Great. And then another additional information that I want to tell you is like. So when do we use like? So we use it with what, like. So when do we use this one? Do you know when? When do we use what, like? So what, like, you actually also use it for description. So for example, everyone, let me tell you this. Do not be confused. When you ask the question, what, like, it's not what do you like, okay? No, it's different. So the question here is, let me give you an example. What is your friend like? In this case, when you ask the question like this, what is your friend like? You are asking for description. You are describing the physical features or the personality. Okay? So, for example, what is your friend like? My friend is shy and nice. So, you are describing the personality of that person. Or you can say, she is tall. You are describing the physical appearance. Okay? Here we go. Sorry. So she is tall. You are describing as well the physical appearance. So remember, everyone, the question, what is your friend like? You use it for description. Okay? Right. Everyone. Any questions? None? Is everything okay? If you have questions, send them in the chat box. Okay? Great. So I think we're already good with this one. Now, let me talk about the adverbs of frequency so that we can use both of them together. Okay? So let me tell you this. So we will go back to this one. Here we go. So adverbs of frequency. Okay, are you familiar with adverbs of frequency? Do you know them? All right, good job, everyone. So no questions. I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Okay, right. Now, let's talk about the adverbs of frequency. Okay, so let me give you a table. Okay, let me explain it in a short way. All right. So Gio and Michaela gave their own examples, which are correct. Okay. So Gio said one example of adverbs of frequency is usually. Good job, Gio. Very good. Okay. And then also Michaela said always. Good job. It's also an example. Very good. All right. So let's start with the adverbs of frequency. So the first one is always. You use always if something happens all the time. 100% of the time, it happens. Like always, all the time. Next, we have usually. Okay, usually we have around 90%. Okay, we have 90% of the time. And then we also have often, which gets around 80% of the time. Then we have sometimes, which is 50% of the time. Then we have rarely, which is 30% of the time. Then we have hardly ever, which is 10% of the time. And of course, never, which is 0%. Okay? So, everyone, here you go. All right? So, this is a short table of adverbs of frequency. Okay? So, this is also the rank, the order of adverbs of frequency. All right? So, we have always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, hardly ever, never. All right? And of course, on the right side, um, are the percentages of the situation. Okay, how many times does something happen? Okay, questions? None? Right. Now, where do you put the adverbs of frequency in a sentence? Where do you put them? So let me review this with you, and then after that, we will go back to the lesson. Okay? So, the adverbs of frequency, let me just give you space. Great. We only have two rules for this. So the first one is it comes before the verb. For example, I always study English. The verb here is study. So you need to put the adverb before the verb. Okay? So I always study English. Okay? Right. However, mm, listen to this. If the verb is an auxiliary, then it comes after the verb. Alright? So in this case, it's after the verb to be. Or it can also be after the auxiliary verb, usually with don't. But in this case, for example, I am never late. Wait, I hope, okay, I hope you are never late. I really hope so. Right? All right. So let me give you an example. I am never late. The verb to be here is am, so it the adverb comes after the verb to be. So in this case, it should be like this. I am never late. Okay? Right. Fantastic, everyone. Good job. Okay, right. Any questions about the adverbs of frequency? Do you have any questions? If none, let me know in the chat box. And if you have any questions, let me know as well in the chat box. Okay? So, if you don't have any questions, let's now go back to the lesson. But this time, I want you to practice what we discussed, okay? So I want you to participate, okay? I want you to type your answers. We will go back to the notepad so you can take a picture later, not now. Take a picture later, okay? Right. So I will first stop sharing the screen and let's go back to the lesson. All right? Here we go. Okay. So in this case, we have the list of questions. Where do you go? With who? When? Where? How often? And why? Everyone, can I ask you to create your own examples using the question words? And also, if you want, the adverbs of, okay? I want you to create examples using the question words. Okay? Type your examples in the comment section or the chat box. Okay? So I will first give you some examples, and then later I want you to write your own answers. Okay? Great. Let's try it together. With who? Hmm. What do you think can be an example for this? Do you know what kind of example we can use here? I want to give you the example, but you might write the same example. So I want to wait your for your example first. So let's try with the second one. When? Maybe an example is, when do you usually go out? Okay. When do you usually go out? That's an example. How about where? We can say, where do you eat dinner? Where do you eat dinner? Right? How about how often? Maybe you can say, how often do you study English? How often do you study English? And how about why? Can you try with why? For example, I thought of an example and I think it was bad. Why do you eat pizza? I mean, just an example. Why do you eat pizza? Well, you can tell me, Matthew, I eat pizza because I love it. Okay, maybe you can, but I usually don't eat pizza. Right? Don't hurt me, please. I'm I'm still alive, please. All right. Let me check your examples. Okay, let's have a look at your examples. So for the others, please, if you want to participate, type your answers, and I will love, I'll definitely love to read them and to share them with you so that we can help each other. Okay, so let me show you some examples of our brilliant students. Okay, so first we have a question from Carmine. He asked, where do you live? This is correct. Fantastic, Carmine. Very good. So, where do you live? Well, I live in Milan. Ta-da! So, very good question. Very good. Next, we have a question from Alessia, and she wrote, Where do you go on holidays? Fantastic. Very good, Alessia. Where do you go on holidays? I think sometimes I travel around Europe on holidays. Sometimes. Nowadays, it's not holidays, okay? I mean, it's not yet the holidays, everyone. We just need to take care of ourselves. That's why we are stuck at home. All right. So where do you go on holidays? This is correct. Then Gio also wrote a question. He asked, "How often do you eat pizza?" Very good, Gio. So this is for frequency. Okay. Good job. Very good in this, Gio. Fantastic. Right. I hardly ever eat pizza. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Gio, but I hardly eat pizza. Yeah, and pasta. I hardly eat pizza and pasta. I'm sorry. Okay. And then we have a question from Michaela, and she wrote, "When do you go to Milan?" To Milan. A Milano is Italian. Be careful. All right. So Michaela wrote, "When do you go to Milan?" Well, I live here, so I'm here every day. All right. And of course, we have a question from Carmine, and he wrote, "Why do you eat eggs?" Well, I eat eggs because they're healthy. I think that's nice, right? I think the egg, well, not the yolk. Are you familiar with the yolk? The yolk. The yolk is the yellow part. I will type it. Wait, this one. The yellow part in an egg is called a yolk. All right, that's a yolk. So I eat eggs because they're healthy, but not really the yolk because I don't know. I don't want to get high blood pressure or something. Right. Fantastic, everyone. Very good. White. Well, white is better. That's correct. The egg white is better, Carmen. The yolk is a bit too much for me. Right. Fantastic, everyone. Good job. Fantastic. Right. So we practiced the question words, and I'm so happy that you got them correctly. Good job, everyone. Very good. Now, let's have a look at this one. Okay? Everyone, let's answer this together. Let's answer this together, okay? We have a list of vocabulary here, and of course, we have the pictures, okay? Um, I just want you to match the pictures to the vocabulary, all right? So I will first read the vocabulary, okay? So places, a restaurant, a bar, the cinema, a museum, the stadium, and a shopping center. Great. Now, can I ask you to match the vocabulary to the pictures? So we also have 6 pictures here. We have A, B, C until letter F. Okay? So let's do this one by one. All right? So let's have letter A first. What do you think is letter A? Is it a restaurant? Hmm, I don't think so. What do you think is letter A? Type your answers, everyone. Type your answers, and I will wait for you. What do you think is letter A? Do you think it's a shopping center? No? Not really? Let's see. Here we go. So I have several answers. Michaela said letter A is museum. Gio said letter A is museum as well. And Alessia also said that letter A is museum. Let's see. That's correct, everyone. Very good. Letter A is museum. How about letter B? Letter B. So Alessia said letter B is stadium. Michaela said letter B is stadium. And Gio also said that letter B is stadium. All right, let's check together. That's correct. Very good. Yay! Fantastic, everyone. How about letter C? What do you think is letter C? How about letter C? So we have some answers here. Okay. So let me just check. Alessia said letter C is shopping center. Gio said it's a shopping center. Juliana said it's shopping center. And Michaela said it's shopping center. Let's see. Fantastic, everyone. Good job. Very good. That's correct. Okay. How about letter D? Magda also said shopping center for letter C. How about letter D? Do you know what letter D is? So we only have three more choices, and I'm sure you can do it, everyone. So Gio said letter D is a bar. Michaela said it's a bar. Juliana said it's a bar. Okay, everyone says. Everyone said it's a bar, which is I'm happy. Very good, fantastic, good job, everyone. Very good. Right. How about letter E? So we only have two choices, everyone. I'm sure you can do it. We only have two more choices. So what do you think? I want you to type the answer so I can also check your spelling. Right. So in here we have Juliana. So Juliana, Gio, Michaela, and Alessia all agreed that it is the cinema. Of course it is, everyone. Fantastic. And of course, the last one is the restaurant. Okay? Good job, everyone. Good job. So now let's have a look at this one. Okay? Let's move on now. Everyone, in here we have, okay, the language of giving suggestions, all right, so that we can arrange maybe a dinner or an aperitif. Okay, we use these expressions and these phrases if we want to suggest something. Okay, so let's read it together. What shall we do? Shall we go to? Let's go to. Okay, shall we? Let's. Okay, great. Now, let's have a look at these expressions. When do we use them? Here we go. Okay, right. In this case, let's read go to first. Shall we go to? Let's go to a restaurant, a bar, the cinema, a museum, the stadium, a shopping center. Okay? Or shall we? Let's go shopping, play football, have dinner, watch a film, go skiing. Okay? So, everyone, be careful with this. We add the word to if the next word is a noun. For example, shall we go to a restaurant? Let's go to the cinema. So we use to plus noun. Okay? But we remove to if we are going to use a verb. For example, shall we play football? So without to. Shall we have dinner? Without to. Let's watch a film. Without to. Everyone, sorry, everyone, you cannot say, shall we to play football? No. No, everyone, that's not correct. Okay, so shall we and let's without to plus verb. Okay, great. So, how can you answer, everyone? How can you answer to these questions? So, we have two ways, we have positive and negative. All right, so let's read them first together. Okay, so for the positive ones, you say, that sounds great, good plan, or simply, sure. Okay, with the negative ones, you say, I'd rather not. I'd prefer to, or let's plus another verb instead. Okay? Everyone, do you know any other expressions that we can use? If so, type them in the chat box. Alright? If you know any other expressions that we can use to reject or accept an invitation, please let me know in the chat box. Alright? So, again, everyone, we have this. That sounds great. Good plan. Sure. You can also say, why not? Positive. Why not? Alright? You can say, shall we go to a restaurant, Matthew? Why not? So it's a positive thing. Okay. A good plan? Sure. You can also say, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Or let's go. Oops, let me check. So these are the expressions, the shortcuts. The expressions that you can use. All right, so we have, why not? Let's do it. Let's go. All right. So I will go back to this. Okay, I will first show you the magical notepad again. I will show you the magical notepad again. Right. Let me just open it. Ta-da! Here we go. So we have responses. So for the positive ones, okay, so we have a lot. We have, for example, that sounds great. Oops. I'll just do this instead. Good plan. Sure. Let's do it. Let's go. Or why not? You can also say, all right. Or simply, okay. All right. And for the negative, all right, for the negative, we have a list as well. We can say, I'd rather not. I'd prefer to. Let's instead. Or you can also say, not now or today. Sorry, not today. I'm sorry, not now. I'm busy. Okay, so you can also say it this way. Um, and then you can also say, maybe next time. Hmm, maybe next time. Okay. Or you can also say, hmm, I'm not sure about that. Okay. So these are the negative responses that you can use. Okay. So again, for the negative, you can also use not today or not now. Maybe next time or I'm not sure about that. Okay. And of course, if you're super positive, if you always say yes, then we have, whoa, let's do it. Let's go. Why not? Okay. That's too energetic. Okay. But you know it. Okay. I'm sure you already know it. So we have, all right. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay. Any questions? Do you have any questions about anything? If so, please let me know in the chat box. Okay? Great. So now, everyone, let's practice using shall we and let's in sentences. Okay? Can I ask you to create your own examples using shall we and let's? Okay? So let me just type it here. Shall we? Let's. You can also say, how about plus ing, and what about plus ing. So everyone, in this case, for asking suggestions, you can also say, how about plus ing for the verb. But for the noun, of course, it's noun. For example, um, hey, how about going to the cinema? How about having dinner? How about playing football? So this is also a way to suggest something, okay? Or you can also use what about, okay? So it's the same. You can say, what about going to the cinema? What about eating pizza? Which I don't usually eat pizza. I'm sorry. Okay, so you can also say, what about the cinema? What about the museum? What about the restaurant? What about, okay, so both nouns and ing. Okay, great. Everyone, if you have any examples, please write that in the chat box. Okay? So try to give me some examples using shall we, let's, how about, and what about if you want. Okay? But for now, everyone, as I promised you, looking at the time, we don't have a lot of time now. Okay? So, if you want, you can take a picture of the notepad. So I will first go to this one. I will give you a few seconds to take a picture so that you can save it, okay? If you want. So this is the first page. This is the first page. All right. So Juliana wrote an example, which is amazing. She said, shall we go to the shopping center tomorrow? Fantastic, Juliana. Very good. That's correct. Okay, very good. Okay, now this is the second page. Take a picture if you want. Take a picture. Page number 2. Okay, and of course, the last page. It's the same. It's just that the suggestions are not included. So take a picture again if you want. Okay, and that's it. All right. Everyone, that's the lesson for this morning. So we talked about question words, adverbs of frequency, positive and negative responses, and language to use for making suggestions. Okay, 4 grammar points for this morning. Okay, but unfortunately, everyone, we don't have a lot of time now. I want to stay with you, but unfortunately, this lesson is finished for now. If you want to have another lesson with me, I have another webinar, another lesson later today at 2:30 p.m. Okay? So at 14:30 I have another webinar. Yay! 14:30 webinar with Matthew. Woo! So if you're interested, everyone, you can join me later, okay? But for now, I want to thank you so much for doing this lesson with me. I hope to hear from you again next time. If you have any questions, please send us a message and we will do our best to help you. But for now, thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you and goodbye. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Later at 2:30 p.m., I have another webinar. Bye.